Well, well, well. We are back, baby. That's right, we're doing the Nuzlocke again. So if you haven't seen the Zero Faints series, you better see it, because otherwise you won't get it, alright? Watch it all and come back here, alright? But for all of you guys who have watched it, you know what's up. We back. I have grinded up Smile here. You thought I was gonna use a Saita. You know, this guy, I'm gonna show you right now. Saita, this guy, I mean girl. No. They have True Wand. Alright. So I decided to grind up Gengar here, and we still have shapes. And I am ready to bloody take on the bloody world. But I've done some changes, alright. I have changed the rules so that I won't be able to fail, basically. No, but like, it's still a Nuzlocke though. So if anyone faints, they're out. But Reviver Seeds are now allowed, that's right. We're gonna allow them to prevent my faints, you know? And also to prevent my insanity from going crazy and all that stuff, alright? I need to maintain my sanity as I go through this. And also I'm mentioning about the dojo being a safe zone. That's right, we actually went to the bloody dojo and grinded, you see? And our sensei is a Dratata, you know, the top percentage. If you know, you know. And yeah, in this place you fight Pokemon and you faint. But you don't lose your items, except over here. So I decided that this place is the safe zone, where I get to grind. Because otherwise, I would just lose my guys as I grind to like a 1-hit KO move, and that also would just make me absolutely insane. So that's what's up. You know what happened in the dojo? Stays in the dojo, alright? But one thing didn't stay in the dojo, alright? You see, I actually managed to recruit a bloody shaman from there. Look at this. And I called it Sky. I guess they don't have a gender, alright? I want to say her, but I don't know. Anyway, and they're like level 39, which is really good because we're like almost to level 40, so I thought she'd be cool, right? And what I did is that I removed like a Licky in my team. I just want to make things a little more interesting so that the roster doesn't get increased. And who the hell is Smile? I think you remember him if you have a good memory, I don't know. He's a steel grass type, alright? And he has Skill Link. So multiple hitting moves will hit 5 times every time. And anticipation, you know, I'll hear this like sound or whatever when I hit an enemy. I don't know how it sounds, I'm sorry guys, I can't do it in real life. But we'll know if they have a super effective move, so that's really good. And his moves are String Shot, which is a ranged move that slows people down, so they lose essentially a turn. And Arm Thrust is a multi-hitting fighting move that will always hit 5 times. Spatial Rend attacks everyone in a room. And Ice Ball is extremely unique as it can hit up to like 5 times. It can hit 5 times, but if it misses, it stops, right? But if it hits, it continues, but stronger. Each hit becomes stronger as long as it hits. Ice Ball is, like, it doesn't synergize with Skill Link, because if it misses, it stops, right? But it's just generally a good move, so Smile, a really good guy. He's going to be the key to beating this, I think. And then Shapes is still a Ghost to Ground with Rough Skin, that's pretty cool, and Natural Cure, so we're going with that. And Hypnosis is good. Dark Pulse attacks everyone around him and can make them cringe. Bone Club, well, he attacks him with his, I don't know, bone, whatever. And that makes them cringe, because Shapes is pretty cringe, I guess. And then Heal Order is to just heal himself. I think that move will be replaced with something if I find something cooler. And that's the setup, guys. Let's bloody go. So we start things off by talking to this Wailamer who talks about this legendary Nuzleaf who wants to be rescued at the Miserable Mountain. And I also forgot to mention that we changed our team name to Team Faints, in case, you know, we would faint any more times. And yeah, we just go for it immediately. I mean, what the heck is there to wait for? Miserable Mountain, let's be miserable. I guess I'm not trying to be miserable, what the heck. It goes really well at Miserable Mountain. I can go through walls because I'm a ghost. Look at this, I just miss everything, but you know, I can go through walls at least. Which I constantly do by mistake, and as you can see, I need to eat more due to it. Because when you go through walls in this game, you just get more hungry. So that's a whole thing. But then we find cross poison for our dude, I mean there we go. Who can learn it, and with shapes, you know, he can learn cross poison. And as we then complete the dungeon, we are faced with Hilarious Fort. I'm not sure what that's all about, but we just go into the fort. And again, we're really strong. I've been eating a lot of gummies, so I'm really strong. Nothing to fear. As we make it to the halfway point, and with no fear continue on until we reach the Ligma encampment, where we face quite a familiar face. Someone who keeps occurring in my randomizers as a boss.
Bird up!
Yeah, that's right, it's Skarmory, and I gotta tell you guys, I think I've got a stalker. But with that realization, we face Skarmory here, and honestly guys, this was super easy. I simply just use Spatial Rend, arm thrust it as much as I can, throw a Totter Seed at it so it's confused, missing its bubble, as I then proceed to finish it with my Ice Boss. Look at that. With that, Skarmory ekes off with a snowstorm as we then see how Nuzleaf gets freed from the ice. Learning more about him before he goes off. But we don't really care about that guy, because like afterwards we talk to Swampert, who knows about the Fatal Waste. An area where we are supposed to go next, because it's, oh my gosh, you know, so crazy over there. Whoa, we gotta see it. So we go to the Fatal Waste and realize what wasteful stuff occurs. Like my anyway. It goes really easy until we face a monster house. Oh wait, no, it's actually no problem at all, because we have Spatial Rend. So they attack us with one monster house in this dungeon, only to attack us immediately with a more proper one. And honestly, yeah, it's so easy guys. I really feel like I pounded them, if I may, you know? And anyway guys, we clear the dungeon and it really results into nothing apparently. Or never mind, it results in us getting the Wonder Egg. Hey look, we got an egg. Wow, it's so mystical and mythical, maybe they said. I don't know. Wow, it moved, they say. Oh wow, smile. Oh my gosh, it's an egg. Holy moly. And look at that guys, it actually hatches. Oh smile, the egg. Oh my gosh. And it hatches into a Quillfish, fittingly enough, because we were in a water dungeon after all, so I feel that's fitting enough. And yeah, we don't know how to handle a little baby wavy, so we take him to Luminion, who then explains to us that we need to feed this thing. So we feed it blue gummies, which I have already prepared, so I don't have to go through the hassle of collecting a bunch of blue gummies. So I feed it here first, making it happy, but that doesn't last a long time, because we are gonna have to feed it again later on, and as we do that, we then get to have it follow us, which is kind of funny, you know, having it follow around us and stuff, so we just try it out a bit before heading to the beach, which is where, you know, it gets reminded where it actually came from, you know, the sea. And if you actually read the story, the actual story, it's quite a decent story, you know, it's quite good, you know, I get quite attached to this little thing, but you know, we're not about the story in this video, we're about just, you know, beating it and all. And what happens essentially is that Quillfish becomes sick, and we have to go to the Fundamental Chasm to get a cure for it. So we go to Fundamental Chasm, and again, it's really easy for us, because we're really crack. Eating all our gummies, and I keep walking into the walls again, needing to eat food because you just starve apparently. And then we faced actually one enemy that kinda spooked me, reminding me of that Happiny from the last challenge, you know. But it doesn't have bad dreams as its ability, so it is tolerable, but it is a bit frightening and annoying getting frozen while you're asleep. Who wants to get frozen while they sleep? So we handled that pretty well before reaching the halfway point right over here, as we then just proceed to the second half and whoop some more enemies, as you do. And we then meet a bunch of Garchomps. Wee! Yeah, being the dominant snooty toot newt, I don't know, scares off these adorable Garchomps, and well, it seems like the Horsey wants to claim all their belongings, or like their special and unique Garchomp due, and you know, we gotta save them, right? I mean, we gotta pick a bone to pick with them, I guess, and yeah, it's a weird one, guys. I mean, I gotta say, it's the scariest Horsey we've ever seen, probably. But it's the easiest battle ever. Because, you know, we're kind of cracked. We just, you know, try to shoot our shot there, you know, slowing them down. And then just whoop them as much as we can with our arm thrusts. And then we try out the ice ball, I guess, and just... I think we do it one more time and they're done. They're finished. And that's it, guys. That's the boss fight. Easy peasy. And we save the Garchomps from the most tyrannical Horsey I've ever seen. And as a thank you, they give us the sought after Garchomp due, which was actually what we were after this whole time, because it is what will cure Qwilfish's illness. And yeah, it cures him. Cures the Qwilfish, the little fishy, and feels a lot better. But see, Qwilfish got sick in the first place because he needs to grow up in the sea. He's not a land Pokemon, you know? And who better than Snorlax, who obviously lives in the sea, to be the parent to raise him? So we send Qwilfish to the sea to grow up being raised by a Snorlax, and I won't be following up with this story to the end, but just know that Qwilfish will become this really cool fish or whatever, alright? In other news, as you can see here, Stare Sensor is the next ability I obtained by drinking a bunch of gummies, and it's actually broken. I mean, look at this. It's literally pointing now, like towards the stairs, each floor, and yeah, kinda mind-blowing if you ask me. But we then actually meet a new team called Team Charm, comprising of a Machamp, a pair of titties, and Whalmer. You can't really see him right over there. So being the super famous explorer team that is Team Charm, we of course want to join on their next adventure. And they agree, so hey, let's go to the bloody, what is it, Laughable Road? Well, it's a dungeon, but yeah, sure, let's call it a Laughable Road. So in this dungeon, we'll have to collect like rocks based on what letters of unknown is needed to proceed further. And it's definitely a little tedious. You see, you have to defeat unknowns that correspond to the letter needed and hope that it drops the rock. Rinse and repeat. And we'll have to do this whole process 3 times. So I think it's definitely fair to say that it's a bit tedious. We then managed to collect all the rocks. It was like spelling out ice as we then proceed to the boss. And it turns out that it's like, I don't know, Shapes Bro or something. And we gotta beat his ass. So, I mean, like any other boss so far, it's super easy. I mean, I just shoot my shot here, boom, slow it down, and use spatial rend apparently. And then with Ice Ball, and I think he's finished here, look. Gone, just like that, and we claim his, I don't know, permission to proceed with the next bloody rock collecting mission, which spells out rock. Yeah, if you didn't get the hint, it's based on the Reggies, but it's a randomizer, so yeah, we'll see what this is. This boss is Grumpig, and we gotta beat his ass as well. And guess what? He's weak to fighting, so look at what happens here. I use my spatial rends and then whoop his ass with R thrust. Just like that, boom, done. Permission, bam, in. And now we gotta collect steel. Rinse and repeat that whole process again, and then face what looks like a Finian. It is a Finian, what am I on about? Anyway, you gotta beat his ass as well. Look at this. Boom, boom. And bam, I did one more time there, and whoa. That went even faster, I think, jeez. And somehow Team Charm lost to this one. So we rescued them by beating Finian, that was, right? And now we get to the actual boss, or like the big boss, the WoW boss. You know, wow. So, wow, right? A Farfetch'd and his army of, I don't know, they're kind of whatever. I mean, the Doduos have slow starter, and I just spam my spatial rend. Solves it quite easily, the whole, you know, multiple enemy bosses type of deal, and yeah. That's it, guys. We beat Farfetch'd, who just sleeps there peacefully, and we unlock this, like, crazy thing afterwards. And Farfetch'd roars, and oh my gosh, you know, Indiana Jones style, things just collapse and opens up something else. Whoa, but we're not gonna explore that. I did explore it actually, but it was nothing special at all. So really nothing to show there. But what is shown is actually the baddest of the bad kind of Pokemon. You see, Apom here is trying to run away from Dratini, because Apom is a bad guy, like really bad, and Dratini is a good girl or something, alright? So after, you know, completing a mission and doing the robo dance in my sleep, as you do, right? I get haunted, or rather Smile the Gengar gets haunted by Dratini, and tells us that our existence itself is bringing the world to ruin, and that we should simply not exist anymore. Not the best kind of dream, I gotta say. Man, that's gotta suck. So Smile wakes up from that horrible hauntage going on, and yeah, he just goes back to robo dancing, because that's what you do when you sleep. Only to then, the next day, be hollowed at by I don't know, Taurus, who's saying that, you know, Noctile, a little Noctile that got kidnapped by Burmy way back, is like, I don't know, he's stuck in this position where he's just flying constantly. Okay, what is actually happening is he's asleep. He can't wake up. He's stuck in a never-ending sleep. And we gotta find Burmy, the one, you know, kidnapped Noctile in the first place way back, that we saved Noctile from. Well, it turns out that Burmy is actually the solution to this whole situation. So we go to the gigantic entrance, which is where Burmy is trying to atone for his sins and become a better man. Or actually, I think Burmy was a girl. Wasn't that so? Man, my memory is kind of good. But yeah, this dungeon is not too bad, you know. We, however, eat a gummy and learn Intimidator. Man, an Intimidator is insane. It makes it so that sometimes when a Pokemon attacks us, they suddenly cringe. So now I am as cringe as Shapes. We just beat the dungeon and, you know, arrive at the gigantic entrance. But it's more like a gigantic view, I want to say, a nice one. So we let Burmy know that Noctile needs help, and you know what? Burmy's willing to help, because he wants to be a better man. I mean girl. Crap. Anyway, so what Burmy essentially does for us is that we enter Noctile's dreams. Yeah, that's right, now we gonna haunt the dreams. Just like that Dratini haunted us. Turns out it's a mystery dungeon, because everything in this world is mystery dungeons, you know? The mind? A mystery dungeon. So we gotta beat the mystery dungeon that resides in Noctile's mind, and I mean, I think I learned another correct IQ skill as I eat the gummies, which, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can see the layout. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I even have a live reaction to that. It's not now. I hope it doesn't bother you guys, but you're going to see this whole layout from now on. Which is, yeah, it's kind of crack, honestly. And then we arrive, you know, to the Precious Villa, which is what this is called, apparently. The whole dungeon, that is. Only to meet, you know, Dratini, the one that haunted our dreams. And as Dratini tries to make our existence disappear, because apparently Shapes also has to disappear, we get saved. Just in time, at the nick of time, by Burmy. Who's like wondering, where are you guys? You're still stuck in that dream, with the hauntage and everything? So Dratini's like, crap, I'll get you next time, and just vanishes like a typical villain would. And then, you know, oh, there you are, the kind of thing goes on here with Burmy, because Burmy enters the dream as well, and helps us get out of it. But with that incident, after hearing all this, like, oh, you can't exist anymore, we need answers. Is that really true? Are we not allowed to exist? So we go to matchup, we're calling it, but it's Celebi, that's not matchup, or what's going on here? I don't know. Nearly mixing something up there. But we find out that Paris is the being said to possess the ability to distort space itself. As Paris does, I guess. As we then get jump scared by this very Paris who tells us we are the defilers of space itself, and he's going to basically obliterate us from existence in order to save the world. So now he uses his insane power to kidnap us to his domain. Just like that, boom, we're in his home now. Look at him go. The fatal bridge, he calls it. And yeah, we just fall down because we need to get the hell out of here. As he pursues us with his immense power. Spacely bending, distorting power. And what do? Well, we just, try to clear the dungeon. His domain, that is. And I'm a ghost, so I go through walls, and we just beat it easy peasy. Well, not yet, I'm a little too hasty here. We make it to the halfway point first, and then beat it, only to then face this very man himself. The bloody Paris. And yeah, as you'd expect, it's a boss fight, and I think we beat him quite easily. Started with this old tactic of doing the string shot first, as we then just beat him up. I think it's quite a solid plan, because we're that strong, I guess. I mean, what the heck, I have no fear, as you can see, as I just keep whooping him. And yeah, Shapes finishes him off, and we defeat him. As then Dratini appears again, trying to make us disappear. Convincing Paris as well that this is the way to do it, that we need to go away. But before this Dratini, who I'm calling a he, because it's not actually Dratini, there's the real Dratini, look at that, we were fooled all along, who is this man? It's the Apom, the man behind everything. And so it is revealed that he in fact, after Dratini just teleports like a good girl, or I don't know, it's a girl, alright guys, I can confirm it's a girl, okay? Anyway, he reveals that all the bad things that happened in the story was his doing alone. So with that information, I need to cope with that and drink some gummies before, pursuing this man in the classic land. As we join forces with the real Dratini in order to beat this dungeon. And let me tell you guys, I grinded really well, I gotta say. I ate my gummies and grinded enough, because holy moly, we make it to the halfway point easy peasy. This dungeon really didn't pose as a threat. I want to say the arrow thing, and seeing the whole layout and stuff really is making things easier as well. That's all the gummies are doing. As I then eat a life seed I found in the dungeon before entering the boss room. Apom, who is the final boss, essentially, in this whole game. Or you could say the post-game, but he the big man, alright? And we gotta beat this man. Look at him, you can't trust this man. And he's got a whole army of followers. And talking about being the king and crap, I don't know, man. He crazy. He crazy, so we gotta beat his ass. Let me tell you guys, I do everything correctly here. I gotta say, I eat my quick seed. I use my string shot there just to slow him down, because he's the main boss. Eat my violent seed, getting my stats up before spatial rend. And I'm so powerful that I one-shot everything, a job well done against a multi-enemy boss. As I then proceed to move down, use spatial rend another time. A third time even, my gosh. As we then just proceed to whoop his ass. Yeah, as you can see here, I never needed reviver seeds. In fact, we did. This video is faintless, but you know what? The comfort of just having reviver seeds available, I suppose, made it feel easier, right? And just as we think, that Apom is about to get away with his evilness, like my ultimate victory, Paris comes in to the rescue with his immense space-like distortion powers. He's like, you will pay a price for or something, and does the strike of justice. Just like this, man. Look at this man. He's just gonna load up that power, and he's like, what? Nutty! No! And he's like, there is no escape. Boom! And that is how Apom got wrecked. Yeah. And Paris being the Shad, he's like, I have no reason to be here anymore. Ta-ta! He just goes away back to his domain, leaving us to, you know, yeah, we just decide to go home. Because guess what, guys? That's how I beat the game. Finally, we ended this series. A series that truly is flawed. You know, what a roller coaster it has been. But I feel like that's only fitting for the first series on this channel. I've really learned a lot about what to do and what I prefer to do. So if I ever do another series, guys, I hope I take these lessons and create something really great for you guys, because it's been fun. And if you enjoyed this series, that's a big plus. Don't forget to, I don't know, if you want to like and subscribe, you know, to this channel, because I'm planning on making more content, and if you don't want to miss it, you can do that. I'd appreciate it, and you can always take it back. It's for free, you know. So, yeah, with that out of the way, until next time.